If you're somebody who wants to quit smoking weed, then this video is going to be very helpful for you. Hello and welcome to my channel, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Neha Bhatia, and today I'll be sharing with you a step-by-step method to quit smoking weed or even cigarette for that matter. If you're ready for that, then quickly hit the subscribe and do like this video as well. And also make sure that you hit that bell button so that you're regularly notified for our videos. All right, so today I have a question from a yoga trainer who smokes weed. Let's see. Hi, my name is Sumit, and I'm a yoga trainer, and I'm from Goa. I have seen many of your videos, and they are very inspiring. I have an I have an addiction that I want to work on. I smoke weed, and I'm very tired of it myself, but unable to leave it. I was at one time very successful, and I have had some situations that I had to sell my assets just to pay my debts. I was someone who used to get people enrolled for the workshops and yoga sessions immediately. They would immediately get enrolled in the class if I used to speak to anybody. Now I hardly have any students, and people who see me smoking, they leave my sessions. I do teach during the day at a place which is next to a cafe, and everybody around here smokes. I only do it once a day, but the effect of it stays in me for hours. And I feel God is punishing me for something that I'm unable to leave this. I also feel if I smoke, what is the energy I'm passing to my students? And everybody smokes here. Why am I affected so much than others? I have seen many videos. I know how to quit, but I'm unable to. Please help. Thank you, Sumit. Thank you so much for this question. You know, there are a lot of people out there who are experiencing this, but they don't want to even come forward and speak about it. So, first of all, congratulations that you have taken this first step, that you have the awareness. So, they say that half the work is done when there is awareness. So, 50% work is already done. Now, the 50% will be doing it through this video. Okay. First thing first, I want you to know, okay, because you're thinking more about it, you are losing all your students even faster. I'll give you an example. Let's say you're only smoking this much, right? Or you're smoking whatever, but in your you're not smoking much, right? So in your mind, ideally, this is what should be the experience or impression of that you're smoking, right? But because you think so much about it, that it is impacting my students, that it is impacting my career, blah blah blah, all of that. So this is what you are experiencing, and this energy is radiating to other people. This energy is not radiating, this is as well, but this energy is radiating even more, right? So I want you to know, first of all, that you don't have to magnify the problem. The problem is only this much. Okay, the problem is only this much, because you're also not addicted as such. Yes, you are, but you are doing it very less, right, which you mentioned. So your second question I would like to answer over here. Everybody smokes here, so why am I affected so much than others? So first we'll talk about all this, and then I'll tell you a step-by-step method. See, you're staying in Goa, right? You mentioned. So definitely there would be a beach over there, right? There are many beaches. Let's talk about one of the beach which is like very, very clean, okay? And it is super clean. Can you think about it? So on that beach, let's say if it's super clean, and if you put just this much, little bit of a garbage over there, it will be visible from far, isn't it? But if there is a beach which is super dirty, you wouldn't be able to even think more about it. You'll be like, yeah, it's a dirty beach, right? So all these people, for example, I'm not saying this is dirty or this is wrong or this is impure, but having said that, you need to know that your body, especially if you're doing yoga and you're doing a lot of purity processes, if you do something which is a little bit of impure as well, it will be more visible to you and more visible to others as well, right? If you were not a yoga trainer, for example, it wouldn't affect you much. But because the kind of work that you do, the kind of profession that you're in, the kind of service that you want to provide to people, it is affecting you even more, because with yoga comes a lot of values as well. I'm a yoga trainer myself. So with yoga comes a lot of values as well, right? Because imagine if there is a teacher I'm going to, and if that teacher herself is not following what she's teaching, I would be, I'll have to give it a second thought, right? I'll have to think maybe I can look for some other teacher, right? So that is one. But because you are thinking the problem is this much, right, it is impacting your career and your whole consciousness, your personality, your day-to-day thinking just because of this little reason. So first thing is that you need to once again realize that this is the problem. This is not the problem. Okay. Second thing that you need to understand, these people who are not affected is because they're overly addicted. They're addicted. Their whole body is like filled with weed, and maybe they must be doing other things as well, because weed has its own consequences, right? I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I have done it as well, and I'll tell you in a few minutes how it impacted me. But I wanted to just know that these people has already a lot of it, so you can't really even, it doesn't really affect them, and you probably don't know, maybe there are many people out there who want to leave it, right? Like for example, you were reaching out to me, maybe they are reaching out to somebody else, or they're not even reaching out to anybody else, because they have given up on the fact that we can actually quit it, right? So the third thing, when you mentioned that I know how to quit but I'm unable to, so now because you're a yoga trainer as well, so I would like to say, knowing is very, very little. Ultimately, it comes down to implementation. I know how to drive a car, but unless I sit in the car and start to drive it, I will not be able to drive it, right? So I need to practice it. So today in this video, I'll be sharing with you a complete practical method. I know just in the last 5 minutes only I've answered a few of your questions and then a complete method, but this was important for me to make you understand, okay? Now, moving forward, first thing first, you need to understand, what is the trigger? Why are you smoking weed? Is it because you have some stress? Some particular thoughts are going on in your mind? Or is it the environment? For example, like you mentioned that your yoga place is next to a cafe. So do you often go to the cafe where a lot of people smoke? Now you're surrounded by that environment. In India, there is a saying in Hindi that हम लोग अपनी संगत से बनते हैं, है ना? We are definitely a product of many things and our environment as well. So maybe you are impacted because of the environment. Yeah, so you need to switch that. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. So first thing first, what is your daily pattern, right? What is your daily pattern? You might say that, Neha, I do this practice, I do that practice, but things are still not working out. Because whatever practices you're doing it for a certain reason. You need to do something very specific for just this particular situation, okay? And if you want to leave it, half of it, you want to leave it, like 50%, like you mentioned, you want to leave it, right? So 50% is already done. Now, probably you need to watch this video again and again. So don't watch multiple videos. Watch one video, maybe my video, because you've written a question to me. Watch it every single day. Let this knowledge go into your mind so that automatically you start to apply. Instead of just taking one knowledge, another knowledge. Now, let's say you're a yoga trainer, okay? Now, you're teaching, let's say, Bhujangasana on a YouTube channel, right? And next day, you post a video of, let's say, Trikonasana, right? Until unless I practice Bhujangasana for at least 7 days, how will I be able to master it? Or how will I be able to at least hold it for 1 or 2 minutes? I have to first practice that again and again and again. So similarly, this particular video, you might want to watch it again and again so that this knowledge, it just gets installed in your system, okay? So first thing first, you need to know what exactly is your trigger. Is it some stress? Is it a particular time? Is it a particular place? Are there particular people who you spend time with, and then you automatically you start to take it and start to smoke? Another thing could be, you want to probably see what exactly is the action. A lot of people, I have seen a lot of people, when they smoke, they have a very similar body structure, very similar body pattern, especially if they're in a one place for a long time. And if I've been able to observe a lot of people, of course, around me as well, and I've spent a lot of time with such people who do smoke weed, and I have no judgments about it, because I do go party, I do go meet people. I have protected myself very well, that I don't get affected by anybody's negativity as much, right? But let me tell you, it's not about weed that is making you negative. It is your own thoughts that is making you even more negative. I know of people who, for example, who claim that weed keeps me calm, weed keeps me this, that, blah blah blah, but the moment they don't have it, they lose all their patience, they lose all their stability, they lose all their center, basically. So if something that is making you lose all your center, then is it really a good thing to take? Is it really a good thing to consume? Because when you're getting it, it's fine. You're getting the center, you're getting the stability. but it is so freaking temporary. It is so temporary, especially if you're addicted to it, if you do it a lot of times in a day, right? So maybe you would want to see what is your body structure when you are doing it. And it's very, very common, very, very common. Either you're taking a smoke, let's say you light up a cigarette, and it's like hand to mouth, basically, right? This is the movement. So maybe you need to switch it a little bit. You need to have something whenever you know that you might want to. So maybe you would want to either keep a water bottle with yourself. So whenever that feeling arises to smoke, you would want to immediately take a sip of water, right? It will be a process. Okay, some people can do it immediately as well. Let me tell you, some people are almost there and they can just leave it immediately. But some people who have been so stubborn inside, and also some people who have heard so much that it cannot be left and I'm addicted, blah blah blah. So it will be a little bit of a challenge for them, but it is still possible. So start to replace it with something else. Okay, start to replace it with something else. Maybe keep a fruit with yourself. Keep a fruit every time with yourself in your bag. So whenever that feeling arises, just consume the fruit. And you know what? This is not just applicable in smoking weed. It is very much applicable for people who are addicted to food as well. You just need to replace the triggers, right? Your triggers, your representation. What is it exactly? What is it? Where are you? Is it because of people? Is it because of the time? Is it because of situations? Why are you smoking it? So you might say that it is around 1 o'clock I smoke, or you can say I smoke at around 1 and 5 o'clock. These are your times. Some people just do all day. They just maybe they're just relaxed. A lot of people who travel all around, and sometimes when we have a lot of free time. That's also the time we end up going into some things that doesn't help us. The just the habits which are not helping us, basically, right? So you need to decide for yourself what is the right habit for you. So here's the thing. Let's say you've heard about Ganga, right? Ganga, the river. It's very clean around Rishikesh, at least. Yeah, Rishikesh, and before that as well. But if I let's say if the Ganga is flowing, and then let's say some parts of it, if it's dirty, for example, let's suppose Varanasi, okay, it's dirty, and I try to clean it. Okay, let's say we take up a project and I clean the Ganga, and then while I'm cleaning it, somebody's putting the garbage again, and then again I'm cleaning it, somebody's putting the garbage again. So what is happening over here is that it will never ever get clean. So when you're in this process of cleaning yourself and purifying yourself, you need to make sure that you're completely focused on purifying it. Okay, so it's like, for example, you're doing yoga. It's a very powerful and a very purification process. Yeah, yeah. Or if you're listening to somebody, or if you're doing something which makes you feel more and more pure, centered, and connected to yourself, and then on the top of that, you do this, which is also bringing more thoughts into you, and then you're doing yoga, and then you're doing weed. So it's a complete hodgepodge. You're confusing your mind here, right? So how will you leave it? A lot of challenge that people experience in their life when they want to quit smoking or weed or even alcohol. They have some withdrawal symptoms, right? And everybody has it. So let me tell you, I met this person last year in lockdown, during lockdown, and he had quit smoking weed. And wow, that was an example. In fact, at that time, I wanted to do a video also with him. He used to sing very well. He had a very good voice, and he used to write. He used to write songs. But till that time, just somewhere before lockdown, he never had anything big coming up for him, right? But just the time when he quit smoking weed and he started to channelize his energy in a better way, within a month or two, he had some really good collaborations with somebody from Italy. So this guy was from Italy, right? And again and again and again, he continued to do that, and he released many songs, and he then started his own band as well. This was a little bit after lockdown he did, right? Then I met him as well this year, and I was like amazed to see the kind of changes that he mentioned about. So when you leave, there will be definitely some withdrawal symptoms, especially the first 3 days could be very, very challenging. So how you can switch that? So if somebody is a addict, somebody who is smoking all day, for them the withdrawal symptoms are going to be even more stronger on them, right? But for a person like you, if you're just smoking once a day, then in that case, you have to just do one thing. For example, you have to know that, okay, there is a symptom that is about to come up, so I need to build up my self control or my strength for my self control. So once you focus on that, automatically your symptom will be taken care. Yes, it is very much easy. The symptom will come. It is natural because the body is very used to it, right? Maybe for months or years as well. It is used to it. But if you know what could be the symptom, or if you know the symptom is coming, you first have to decide that, okay, I want to leave. So how will you take this decision? A problem with people is that they cannot take a decision on quitting smoking or weed, and even drinking for that matter, because smoking is still very easy to leave, and weed is also very, very close to leaving it, right? Drinking could be a little bit extra challenge because with drinking comes a lot of patterns as well, right? Depending on what kind of therapy you're going for, right? I have helped people quit smoking. So I know that how it works. I know how challenging it could be. I know how, what kind of withdrawal symptoms you can also have. So once you know the withdrawal symptoms that you can have, or you must have heard of, automatically you would know that, okay, what is the withdrawal symptom? Is it the symptom of the time? Is it the symptom of, is it something like some kind of an anxiety that I'm feeling, some kind of a headache that I'm feeling? Something you will definitely get. There is no doubt. Huge chance you will get it if you're very, very addicted. But if you're not that addicted, so which means the pattern has not become that strong in you. Are you understanding what I'm saying? The pattern has not become that strong in you. The pattern of daily has become, of course, because you're taking daily, but the amount you're taking and in how many intervals, that is still not strong in you. So it is very much possible for you to leave it, not even 7 days, even much before that. Maybe just tomorrow, even after watching this video, probably you'll be able to leave it. There are so many people in many of my videos, they have mentioned that, we have been able to quit some of our habits, and we have been able to live our life so beautifully just by watching your videos, just by watching that one video of yours. So sometimes just one thing can help you if you know where you are headed. See, the thing is that a lot of people are not able to take a decision that they want to leave it. And especially with weed, you will see people in Goa, Gokarna, Dharamshala, and all these places, because these are my favorite places which I spend a lot of time at. I love being there. I find all these places very peaceful, very beautiful. But at the end of the day, you need to understand that weed is still an external substance. You need to know that you are a substance here. You can create that energy in you. You can create that creativity in yourself, by yourself. So you don't have to be dependent on something external, number one. Number two, that something that whenever you smoke as well, you do cough a little bit, I'm sure, right? And it is smoke that you're kind of inhaling. It's at least in the environment. So do you want to do that? Our lungs are made to to consume the oxygen, not smoke. If you really want to, then go just stand outside the one of the industries. A lot of smoke comes out of there. Be there. Go to Delhi. That's the best. you know so if you really want to kill yourself like that, then there are better ways than just weed. But if you really want to take up a decision, you need to see, one of the very important things that I'm about to talk to you about now here is that you need to see what exactly is your values in life. You said that you're losing out on your customers, you're losing out on your people. Think about it. You've already had losses in the past. Do you want to lose a lot in the next 3 months, 6 months, lose everything, and the government is will also not support you? Do you want to be in that situation, or you want to be dependent on government, and lose everything that you have accumulated in the last 30, 40, whatever your age is, 30, 40 years? No, right? If you don't want to, then my love, you need to know that your values needs to be strengthened. If your values are not strengthened, because your value has become more of addiction, or maybe your values have become more of, there are people, and sometimes when people are there, okay, let's just do one, who cares, doesn't matter. So you are so busy in maybe keeping people happy, because that's the environment that you were in, because of which you got the habit, right? So when you decide to quit, just know that it's a decision I'm taking, and I know what my values are. And for also that, you also need to know what is your future. How does your future look like? How does your future self look like? I mean, think about it. If you continue to smoke like this, and if it becomes more of a habit, more intervals, how will you look in next 5 years, 10 years down the line? I know of people who smoke, and when they don't have it, they're miserable. Trust me, they're miserable. That's the kind of addiction it is, especially weed and drinking. Smoking is still sometimes okay for people. Still, they can depends on how many they smoke, right? But think about it. What kind of a life you want? What kind of a future you want? What kind of future identity you want? What kind of goals you want to achieve? What kind of um, clients you want to deal with? What kind of people you want to help with through yoga and through the knowledge of yoga and help people? You know, what kind of energy you want to radiate in them? That's what you need to sit with yourself. And it will take a few days. It can take a few days, because if the withdrawal symptom will come, for example, if there is a lot of boredom in your life, like you said, that I'm leaving a lot of, I mean, I'm missing out on a lot of customers or clients. So which also means that definitely there are gaps in the daytime. So maybe in the daytime you need to learn more about yoga. Maybe in the daytime you need to learn more about how you can organize a workshop. Maybe in the daytime you need to think how you can create something new for people in this time, right? So if you only have 5 to 7 clients during the day, so I'm sure you have a lot of free time as well in the daytime. And that free time, that boredom is also making you go more towards probably that environment, and also probably that addiction of weed, right? So see, with nicotine you definitely get that dopamine as well, right? And with we have these four happy chemicals. One of them is dopamine, right? And which is my super favorite, of course. I love dopamine, but we also need to understand that when you have too much of dopamine in you, when you feel so nice, when you feel, you know, automatically what will start to happen is you will start to become very addicted towards it. So that's what we need to release. So how will you release it? With serotonin. Serotonin comes with more of relaxation. So for example, you need to do things which gives you a lot of relaxation in general. You can meditate, or you can sit in the nature, you can take a silence break for yourself. Anything that can keep you more and more relaxed. And once that happens, automatically your mind will be more quiet. But you need to do these practices, right? And you need to have that balance of dopamine and serotonin as well. Okay. Moving forward, I have written a few more things as well. And yeah. So I remember many years ago when I started smoking, this was around 15 years ago, I joined a call center, okay? And this girl who helped me, join this company, and she helped me with the whole process. So when I joined the call center, she was the one, of course, who helped me out. But I still say she's the one who actually helped me out with many other things. I'll share with you. After a few days, or I think a month or so, I started to smoke because the environment was such. I had a night shift, right? So a lot of people used to smoke, and I also started to smoke. And one day, what happened? She complained to my father after a few days, and Neha is smoking. And when my father got to know about it, there was a whole scene, being in an Indian family and a Punjabi family. It was a whole drama, whole scene that, okay, what the hell are you doing? This is why we are sending you out, and you don't have to work anymore. You don't have to earn money, blah, blah, blah. You're going to stay at home, no more freedom, no more independence. And you know what? I promised that day to myself and to him as well. I'm never ever going to smoke, because he showed me what my future can look like if I don't smoke, or if I continue to smoke, right? So you and of course I have not had too much of a pattern. Which is 1 or 2 months I used to smoke, but it was more of the environment. It was more of the just the time as well. And when I was shown my future, when I was shown my future self, when I was shown that that I am going to lose my freedom, I was like, no, I'm going to leave that. And trust me, when I left that, automatically, I started to be more effective and more confident, and better in my work as well, in my whole efficiency at my work. And not just that, I started to, of course, earn more. I had more incentives. And then I think immediately I joined yoga. And when I joined yoga, and I'm going to tell you something. When I joined yoga, after that, of course, I could never ever think of it. I used to drink a little bit, but then that also I left 2 years ago. So somebody asked me, Neha, how did you quit smoking, or even drinking for that matter? So I said, I did not quit smoking or drinking. It left me. So you have to make so pure of yourself that these things doesn't even want to come to you, right? So again, I would say, I'm not saying anybody is good, bad, or pure or impure if they're doing anything. These things can be pure or impure, but people are not pure or impure. But yes, when you consume more of it, your impure emotions come out, which we don't want, right? Impure actions comes out, impure decisions comes out, which is not healthy for you. So that is why all this is not healthy. It's not just the health, it is the whole emotional health as well. So I hope that you were able to get some kind of an insight from my video and from this whole journey. And if you can quit smoking, and if you can just take a decision, you will be able to contribute so much in the lives of your trainees or of your clients as well. In the past, you have had some challenges, right? You have had ups and downs. Now is the time that you just focus on creating your future, creating your values, creating your future self, and automatically you will only be drawn towards those people who will help you go forward. Okay, so with that, let's quit smoking. Let's quit smoking and weed as well in 7 days. Take a challenge for yourself, and I look forward to hearing from you. Do write it in the comment box if you have any more questions, and make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Do like this video, and nlpwithneha.com is the website that you can check. And if you want to have a call with me and you want to just understand more as to how we work, what all workshops we can offer you, what all customized workshops we can offer you, I'll be more than happy to assist you with that. Thank you so much. See you soon in the next video.